Hi everyone, thank you for visiting my page. Today we are going to learn how to make cha, or another name, chai, or you could say Indian tea. The ingredients that we need are milk, water, I put about a cup of water, ginger, cardamom seeds, a mortar, pestle, but I use this kind, but any kind will do. Indian tea, and sugar. These are the ingredients you need to make your cha or chai. The tea that I use, and let me see if I still have the box. I had it in my recycle bin, but the tea that I use is the Brooks Bond Red Label Tea, Orange Pico. But you can find these at an Indian store, and they have different types of Indian tea. I prefer this one just because I like the flavor of the tea. You can get it loose tea, or you can get it in tea bags. It's up to you. So, and also what you need is your teapot. It's been well loved. Oopsie. Let me turn it this way. And just to help you out, I've supplied measuring cups just to make it easier, so you know how much of milk or how much of water you would need to use. Spoon, a tea strainer. You can get this at any store. I got this at Sur La Table. I can never pronounce that name right. And then this ginger shredder or grinder, what you'll call it. Ginger is definitely optional. You don't have to add it. Usually if you add ginger, you don't add cardamom, but because I like the flavor of both, I add both of them in my tea. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and adjust the camera this way. We're going to go ahead and pour the cup of water into the pot. And what I do is I grind up, let's see if you can see it, I grind up the cardamom, which is the first thing I do. And I usually put in, I usually put in about 4 cardamom seeds. And I grind it up really good. And I'll show you that when I'm done grinding. Can you see me grinding it? Let's see if I can do it this way. There we go. Trying to watch what I'm doing to make sure everything's in view. I grind it till it's almost powder, but you're not going to get that full powder consistency. And let's see if you can see inside of it. You see that? You've got the skin of the cardamom and the little seeds inside. So I usually put this in right away and let it brew for a little bit. I usually let my tea brew for a while, just because I want to get that strong flavor. You take your ginger like this. Let's see. Hopefully you'll be able to see me doing this. I think you'll be able to. And I just, can you see? There we go. Let's do it this way. And I just shred it like this. I just put a little bit, just enough to see that there's ginger in here. I don't put too much of it, because what I noticed is that with ginger, sometimes You can take the little skin and just dump it in there. I don't know if you could see that. With ginger, it really depends on how it was, or what type of ginger you buy. Some are really strong. There you go. All right, that's good. And let me just show you my tea, how it looks on the inside. So that's how it looks on the inside. So it's a mixture of ginger and cardamom, and I'll just let that brew for a little bit. So while that's doing that, I will add the tea in a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's making that sizzling sound, so the water is boiling a little bit. So I'll lower the temperature. I usually have it on high till it boils, and then I lower it down to like a medium temperature. We'll move this ginger away. We'll move these ingredients away. So now we have tea. I've been making cha since I was 9 years old. My mother actually taught me because she wanted me to learn how to make cha so that I would make it for her in the mornings. So I have been doing this for a while. I use this spoon just because it's a good size for the amount of tea I want to put in. It's a half tablespoon. You can use half tablespoon, or you can use something smaller. Or if you like your tea really dark, I would probably put maybe 1.5 of this. If you want it not so dark, more on the lighter side, I would put half of this or less, and put more milk if you want to have more of the milky consistency. I prefer dark tea. So I'm going to put 1. And actually, I usually put like maybe 1.5. So, like half a tablespoon plus half of that. Not very good at measuring, I'm sorry. So we did that. Put that in there. Keep that back there. And you'll hear the little sizzling of the water boiling. Let me show you what it looks like, if you can see it. See, that's how it looks. And here I'll just increase the temperature a little bit. Oopsie. Let's see if I can bring it up so you can see it better. My stand for my iPad holder, it broke on me, so I'm trying to be creative with this stand. Alright, don't know if you can see it well, but I'll fix it so that it's easier for you to see. Okay, so as you can see, it's boiling a little bit. Can you see that? All right. So now we'll add milk. Now, I usually just pour in, but just for, measuring purposes, we'll put about just about a half a cup. Or less, just a little less than a half a cup actually, of milk. And we'll pour it into the pot like this. Looks like we'll need a little bit more milk because it's kind of dark. So too dark for me. So we'll put like another half. No, that's a half a cup, so we'll put like a little more. That should be good. I don't measure because I've been doing this for so long, so it's a little difficult for me to figure out exactly how much milk to put in or how much milk I've put in my cha. But the way I do it is I pour the milk and see if the color of the tea will change dramatically or not. Because if it's when you pour the milk and it's too light, you'll let your tea brew for a bit and it'll change colors. It'll get a little darker. But right now, the way it looks pretty good actually. So, see if you can see the tea. Okay, now I'm going to drop the temperature down to about just between medium and low. And I'm going to go ahead and put the milk away. We don't need it. Let's see. Let's raise this up so you can at least see the tea. See that in there? So, all right. Let's get this here. Perfect. Okay, so while we let the tea brew, I usually just let it sit for maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, just to really get that full flavor of the ginger and the cardamom and the tea just blended all together. It's kind of like having coffee where you let it brew and brew and brew, so you get that real good flavor of the coffee. So same thing with the tea. So what you do is you let it do its thing. So what I'll do now is I'll raise the temperature to high and watch how it just kind of boils a little bit. So what you can do when it's boiling is you can take it off the stove and let it cool down, and then put it back and let it boil some more. And when you see it boiling, take it off the stove, bring it back, take it off the stove, bring it back. You can do this option, or you can just drop the temperature down to the lowest of the lows and just let it brew. And just leave it like that for a good, maybe, I don't know. I said 5 minutes earlier, but I'm thinking maybe just 2-3 minutes is perfectly fine. Because you don't want the tea to get too dark, because then it'll taste like black tea. But you'll still get the flavors of the cardamom and the ginger. So, anyways, see that? So for the sake of this little show, I'm going to go ahead and say it's been 2 minutes and we are done. So turn the stove off. Now what we need next is our cup, which I had. I don't know where I put it. Sorry for all the little noises you hear. So, here's my mug. And what we're going to do is we're going to put sugar. Now, sugar is definitely up to you. This measuring spoon is a tablespoon. And I use this just because it looks like, I mean, it's better than using household spoons. I just use measuring spoons because I don't really use it that much anyways. So I'll put about a tablespoon of sugar in my cup. Get my little strainer. Get my tea. Hope you can see this. And what I'll do is I will pour the tea into the cup. If you could just be here and smell the aroma coming from the teapot, it's like amazing. It's amazing. There's that. Shake off the excess tea from the tea strainer. Put it back in the pot. Pot back on the stove. It's best to let it cool down first in here before you run it under water. So you let it cool and then you just wash it with a sponge. Let's see, I have a little daughter who's taking a nice little nap, so this works out great for me. Take your spoon, mix it really good. This aside, and you have your cha. It's not exactly a full cup, but again, you know, when you measure, you can measure 1 cup or you can measure 1.5 cups of water, and then decide on the consistency of your milk. If you want your milk, or if you want the tea to be more creamy, then you add more milk. If you want it less creamy, then you would just add like a cup of water, a cup and a half of water, and about a half a tablespoon of your tea. Or you can, less than a tablespoon of tea if you want less tea, a little more milk, if that makes sense. You just pair this up with a nice, chocolate chip cookies that I made yesterday. It's so good. I made them really big size. Look at that. Huge. And the reason why you only see 3, because I made 2 batches of these, is because we actually ate them all. Yes, we did. So there's only 3 left. So here's my cha and my cookies. And you can dip the cookie in the cha. Oh my God, so good. Or you can drink the cha by itself. You can usually pair it with, make sure you blow into the tea or wait till it cools down a little bit because it'll get really, really hot. I mean, not it'll get hot, it's really hot. You can pair it with like butter biscuits or any kind of cookie of your choice or cake of your choice. Or you can just have it by itself. And that's perfectly fine. This is great in the morning. I drink cha all the time. I have to have cha in the morning. Typically have cha in the evening, like about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. And sometimes I'll have it later on at night. It really doesn't matter when you have cha because it's just so good. And I'm addicted. I've been making this since I was 9 years old, and I've been drinking it probably since I was 11, 12 years old, something like that. I hope that when you make this yourself, that it comes out really, really good. And I hope that you're happy with the experience of me making cha for you today. And let me know your comments. I don't add masala. Usually there's spices that you can add, like cinnamon and like masala stuff for your tea. I don't like any of that personally, just because I feel like it tastes good just the way it is with the cardamom and ginger, or just the cardamom by itself. You can use as much cardamom as you like, or you can use 1 cardamom seed if you want. It's really up to you. I usually put about 4 to 5 seeds and grind it up pretty good. But the consistency amount is up to you. But once you've perfected the art of making tea, you'll figure out what works for you, whether you want more ginger, less ginger, no ginger, more cardamom, less cardamom, more milk, less milk, more tea, less tea. It's really up to you once you've figured out what works for you, what tastes good to you. Leave a comment if you like, and I hope you had fun. This has been a very nice day for me, and I enjoyed sharing this with you. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.